Hey everybody, how is it going today? Happy Friday the 13th and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about GRWG. They've recently come out with earnings and the stock is selling off hard because of it. So I want to go over their earnings and give you my thoughts on it. And then I want to get into their chart and let you know what I am doing. I also want to take a look at some of the other stocks in the cannabis sector because some of them are coming down hard as well and are starting to look pretty attractive at these levels. Now, if you're new to my channel, I have been trading and investing for over 20 years, and in each video I will show you trades that I see setting up right now. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading and investing ideas. And also, if you would like to support the channel and become part of our Patreon community and see what we are buying and selling in real time for a measly $10 a month, that link is in the description. All right, let's get into GRWG's earnings, and this article says that GRWG boosts outlook after Q2 revenue increases 190% to $126 million. So they are still growing quite rapidly. If we scroll down, take a look at the financial highlights. They say, of course, the record revenue increased 190% to $125.9 million. They say the net income came in at $6.7 million, up 161% from last year. Their adjusted EBITDA came in at $14.5 million, up 229% from last year. And they raised their 2021 guidance to $455 to $475 million. Now, I believe their previous guidance was $450 to $470, so it's not a huge bump up in raising the guidance, but still a raise nonetheless. That tells us that things are still looking to be on the up and up. Their comparable store sales for the quarter increased 60% from the prior year, so their same store sales are increasing rapidly. Now, it says that their diluted earnings per share came in at 11 cents per share, and the street wanted 12 cents per share, so that is why the stock is selling off, but that doesn't worry me one bit. And if we scroll down to a little bit what the CEO says, he said that the GRWG team delivered an exceptionally strong second quarter with revenues up 190% compared to the same period last year, same-store sales up 60%. We just went over that. But this is the big one. It says the entire enterprise generated more revenue in the first half of 2021 than all of 2020. And the adjusted EBITDA for the first half of 2021 was more than all of the previous periods combined. So you can see that this company is still growing very rapidly. They're doing everything that you want to see with a growth company. And he also said that for the year, they closed 12 acquisitions, adding 20 more hydroponic retail locations, bringing their total store count to 58. So they are not sitting on their hands. They are continuing to expand. And he says, our ability to attract and purchase the best of breed and largest hydroponic operators in the country was again evident with our signing of HGS Hydro, the country's third largest hydroponic chain. So I think GRWG is continuing to set them up perfectly for all this favorable legislation that is going to be coming out in the cannabis sector. They are, setting a perfect foundation so they could take advantage of it. So everything I'm seeing in this earnings report makes me feel better. And honestly, when I go over a company's earnings report, I'm basically asking myself one question. Does their earnings make me feel better as a shareholder or worse? And going over GRWG's numbers, I definitely feel much better as a shareholder now than I did the previous quarter. I was already confident, but this just makes me more confident, and that's exactly what you want to come out of an earnings report. Now, the stock is selling off. I haven't bought any more just yet. I have an average cost of this stock right around $16, I think, per share. So I have the luxury of already being up a pretty decent amount. I don't have to get worried about the stock selling off right here. But I definitely think I'm going to be adding more shares of GRWG to my portfolio because these numbers, in my opinion, were fantastic. But let's get over to the charts. All right, well, before I get started with the charts, if you don't mind doing me a small favor and liking the smash button and help me out with that mysterious YouTube algorithm, I would really appreciate it. But I'm not a financial advisor. All this is just my opinion. Please do all of your own research before buying anything you see in my videos. But the first thing I want to start off with is this daily chart of GRWG Corporation. You can see this thing is falling like a rock the last couple of days, and I would like to say that I see something good in this chart if you're a shareholder in GRWG, but I do not, man. There's just a ton of deterioration, a ton of selling that's coming in. I was looking at this support area before earnings were coming out, and it just sliced through it like a warm knife through butter. So that didn't offer any support at all. We can see that it's been mired in this triangle consolidation for a very long time, and it is breaking support. So this pattern usually leads to some more downside. That's one of the reasons I haven't bought any of these last couple of days. I'm kind of anticipating that there's going to be some more downside. If we look at the next support level, it looks pretty weak. There shouldn't be a whole lot of support right around here. I would say it's almost there right now, right around $30 a share. I wouldn't expect that to offer up a whole lot of support, but you never know, it might, because it is pretty extended to the downside. But man, if we just go a little bit closer and look how much volume is coming in, plus today's candle, I mean, today's candle has been relentless selling right from the word go. So I mean, this is just no let up by the sellers. People are getting out of this stock as fast as they can. So I'm going to sit tight for a little bit. Usually when a stock makes this type of pattern, you get some more downside. So I'm going to try to buy some of this in the 20s. I think it should be in the 20s, probably in, I don't know, maybe the next couple of weeks or so. It could gyrate around this price level. But I think I'm probably going to start selling either some 30 puts or maybe some 25 puts. Just to collect some income, and if it gets down to those levels, you know, if I get assigned, no big deal. I don't mind being a shareholder in GRWG. But with everything I'm seeing in the chart right now, I'm not seeing a whole lot of support coming. So if support does come, that's fine, because I'm still in, and if it doesn't, then I don't mind buying some GRWG at some cheaper levels. But, I mean, if you are thinking about getting into some of these pot stocks, I mean, they have just been getting crushed lately. Let's get into some of the other ones. All right, the first one I want to talk about is the one I'm most interested in buying, at least of these ones that I haven't bought yet. And this one is Trulieve Cannabis, ticker symbol TCNNF. We can see this one has pulled back substantially from the highs, just under $55 a share. As of today, it is off about 42%, 43%, so a pretty decent pullback. This one, I started reading a lot about this one back when it was getting near the highs, but it was way too expensive as far as I was concerned, so I didn't want to buy at those levels, but now it is starting to get pretty darn attractive. I probably should dip my toe in the water right now and take a small position, because every time this thing keeps dropping, I keep saying, oh, I'm going to wait for, you know, a lower level, and seems like every time I do that in the past, the thing eventually takes off without me. But I do think this one is probably going to be headed at least a little bit lower. Maybe I'll dip my toe in the water today. I'd love to be a buyer right around 25. If I put a Fibonacci grid on this one, go from the COVID lows up to the old high, we can see as of right now, it's right at that 50% retracement level. So, I mean, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the stock does at least find a short-term bottom right here. So maybe I should buy a little bit today, because, you know, if the thing does keep dropping, of course, if I don't buy any, I'm just thinking, oh man, just give me a little bit more, and then I'll buy in. And then, like I said, how that goes is I usually don't buy, and the thing takes off without me. But I would love to be a buyer of this stock at this 61.8% retracement level on this fib grid, right around $25 a share. If I do end up grabbing some right now, if it does pull down to 25, I think I'm really going to start buying it more heavily. I do think this is one of the better ones out there. And man, if this thing can get down to 25, I am going to be rubbing my hands together just picking up some of this stock. But let's get into one of the other ones. Let's get into CURLF. CRLF. See, CURLF has been pulling back, but not nearly as much as Trulieve. CURLF is off about, at the moment it's off about 35%, but as of a couple of days ago, it was off about 38%. So even though this is a pretty nice pullback, it's not juicy enough for me, and besides, I like the other one a little bit better anyway. But definitely, if you missed the boat on some of these cannabis companies when this cannabis train was leaving the station and just running like crazy, we are all getting a second chance at some of these. So now is the time when you want to start looking at them, looking at them a little deeper, and figure out which one or two or three you want to own for the long haul, because they have definitely pulled back quite a bit from their highs. And even though they have been pulling back from the highs, pretty much all of them are still increasing their revenues at substantial rates. So now is the time when you really want to start looking into these and adding maybe one or two to your portfolio if you missed out on them before. But the next one I want to show you is CRLBF, which of course is Cresco Labs. Cresco Labs, same as Cureleaf. It's pulling back, but not super hard. This thing is pulled back about 39% at the moment. It was down about 41% a few days ago, so Cresco Labs is definitely looking a lot better. Another one I want to show you is CRON. Kronos Group is really starting to fall off a cliff. I mean, this thing made a high just under 16 bucks, and now we are under 7 bucks today. This thing is off almost 60% as I'm making this video. So, I mean, just big pullbacks in these stocks. They did get way overextended. This is not when you want to be buying. You want to be buying when these things are pulling back. Is this going to be the absolute low? I have no idea, but you are definitely closer to a bottom than you are to a top down here. Another one is Aurora Cannabis. This thing has just been going sideways pretty much for a little while. It's all the way down to under $7 a share as well. So, I mean, these things have really come down from their highs. Next one I want to show you is the Planet. The Planet is very popular. This one hasn't rolled over too much, but it looks like it is destined to roll over again. If this thing get back down to this support level right around $4 a share, I think I'm probably going to look at buying this one. This one is growing substantially. This one is very popular on YouTube. A lot of people seem to really like this one, but if this one gets a little bit cheaper, I think I'm going to strongly consider getting into this one. I was going to take a trip to Vegas and check it out firsthand, and I never made it out to Vegas. At least I haven't made it out there yet. I kind of wanted to check out the store before I bought it, but maybe if I do get out there, it will make me change my mind immediately and end up buying some shares. I am a Las Vegas Raiders fan, so hope to make it out there to the Death Star this year, and I definitely want to check out Planet 13 if I get out there. But next one I want to show you is Charlotte's Web, CWBHF. Charlotte Webb's holding has been pretty much just going sideways. This thing went on a little bit of a run, but this thing has just been consolidating since mid-2020, and this thing is all the way down to $3.27 a share, so definitely one to consider if you haven't bought any of these yet. And the last one I want to show you is CGC. Of course, that is Canopy Growth, and this one has fallen all the way down to $18 a share. Now, this thing topped out about $57 a share, and now it is off in 67%. So just a huge pullback. This is when stocks go parabolic. You don't want to be a buyer. You want to be a seller here, and when they're starting to come down like this, that's when you want to be a buyer, just like they did last time when they were pulling all the way back from their parabolic highs. This is when you want to be a buyer, because eventually, if you hold on to a company that is growing and has a lot of potential ahead of it, chances are it's going to go on a run again. So if you haven't bought any of these type of stocks, any of these pot stocks, I mean, now is a pretty good time to start looking into them. Okay, everyone, that is all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, or if you have any other ones you want me to take a look at, please leave it down there in the comments section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.